I came to Val-Marie to see where my mother was born, and it turns out she lived along the Northwest Mounted Police Trail. So every morning, my mom would get up, and that's the view she would have. 70 Mile Butte. Named that because it's halfway between Wood Mountain and the east end of Cypress Hills, and that's the police patrol line. And she will walk that line to school, to Val-Marie, every day. What I know for sure is that whenever I need to step back and take a look at the bigger picture, this is where I come. Here, you can see more than 20 kilometers in every direction. I came for the homestead, but the butte brought me home.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to CBC Gem and SaskTel Curling Stadium's coverage from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. We are live in Swift Current. 2018 field began play here Thursday morning. 4 teams through to the playoffs already. That championship round starts tomorrow, and we are going to determine the last 4 playoff teams tonight. My name is Sean Joyce. I'm joined for this broadcast by Jeff Chambers, and we will be featuring the qualifying match here between Skylar Ackerman and the Yoshimura team from Japan. Jeff, you've had a chance to do a game or two. Have you worked with either of these 2 teams before?
No, I've seen them right in the other sheets, but I haven't done the commentary on one of these 2. So I know they've had quite a few different games. They've had different ways of getting to where they're at. But they're here ready to battle now, and it should be a great showing. They're very even up as far as the lineups go, so it should be an exciting game, and having 2 young, talented teams going at it here for the last spot.
The Ackerman team, quite young. I'm a little bit more familiar with them. I've known their mom since I've known Skylar's mom since high school. This is a team that Skylar was junior competitor just last year, and I think a couple of the others on the team are only a couple of years removed from juniors. They're playing some of the newly formed 25 and under circuit this year as well, but having to play some women's play to fill out their schedule, and certainly expect them to compete for a Scotties berth in Saskatchewan as well.
Absolutely. No, they're definitely a talented team. Seeing them out there, they've been making a lot of shots, and they've had a good success. How they got the road here is they started off the event a little slow. They managed to lose their first games to Corinne Brown from Kamloops, but then responded right back with a victory over Darcy Robertson of Winnipeg. And then they fell a little bit short when they played against Team Kim from Korea, but then again responded right back with a convincing 10-6 win over Sasaki from Japan. Then they continued on there to play another international team from Korea, Sungyeong Ha, and managed to win that to get to this spot. So they've had a lot of games in a short period of time, and it's a good thing that they're young and in shape and they can handle this.
A good opportunity. You pointed it out there, how many international teams they played in a 2018 field. 13 international teams here in Swift Current, and a great opportunity for some of these younger Canadian teams, the up-and-coming teams, to get the exposure to this international competition.
Absolutely. There's a lot of discussion on about just how young the field was and how many teams were so young and getting the experience. And we had Kelly Schaefer, better known as Kelly Wood to many, that played with Eve Muirhead for many years. She was speaking that she's somehow found herself into the older demographic in the curling world, and she's just amazed at all the young talent coming up, and it leads for a lot of exciting years to come for sure.
Hit and roll on that last one, pops out just beyond the corner guard, so a chance to make a play on it.
It's been different to see the styles of the different teams too. Typically we'll see as a lot of clean first ends as the teams try to get a feel for the ice and move through it. But I've noticed the last few games that the teams are not afraid to get a little aggressive, and that's just a little rub there. It was looking really good for a little roll. So just slightly hiding one edge on edge, and that was enough. And so that gives them an opportunity to come around. But again, most of the games have been a lot normally clean in the first end, but a lot of teams trying to make more of a statement by being a little more aggressive than normal, as they're really trusting the ice. Jason Broughton and his crew has really done a great job and have given them some world-class ice to have at club level for sure that you don't normally see. And the girls are taking advantage of that and not afraid to try to go after those big shots because they know they can trust the ice.
Well, with that slight miscue, the rub on the guard, a chance here early on in the first end for the Yoshimura team to try to set up a deuce. Looking to come around. Puts that nicely in behind cover, right at the tee line.
So pretty tough decision by Skylar here. Typically you'll see that the come around freeze attempt, but when you're seeing a couple red rocks and buried in first end and without the hammer, all of a sudden it gets a little tighter or tougher to make these precise shots. But looking like no fear. Those eyes look solid and they're ready to make this shot. So a lot of confidence in her team, and we're going to see if they can lock on a corner freeze here.
Probably not the way they'd like to play this first end, having to come around a corner guard without last rock, but that's what happens when you have a bit of a miscue. You get forced into a situation that you got to chase a little bit. Still, if she can lock this on the corner, she could take away some of the end from the Japanese.
That is a tremendous shot there. So I'll force them to just move that around a little bit. That has got some Loctite on it. So terrific shot under the circumstances for sure. So looks like they're going to come down with just a little bit of tap weight and just move that red rock back to get rid of the freeze and put theirs right in front.
Japanese third is Keiho Onodera. I apologize in advance for how many of the names I'm going to mispronounce. I'll do the best I can. Looking to come down, break up that freeze. She'd like to stay on top of the yellow one if she could. This is going to need to curl a little bit. Gets some finish there. Breaks the freeze, does stay on the corner of that yellow stone nicely. Probably the best she could do with it. Now it might still be lined up to go on to the two reds. Taya Kennedy, the third for this Ackerman team. Skyler wants to know how much air they can see there. Probably room to make a play on the red and try to roll behind the corner.
I think that would be ideal right now. It's hard to tell without the overhead look, but it looks like that yellow should go right back onto the red over there, so they could probably hit this
hard
on
to tell where
slightly
the
on
yellow
the inside.
would go.
Yeah, exactly. But from this angle, it looks like they can get that to go in there, so they could set up a couple shots here in one.
Made a great corner freeze on her first stone, looking to break up the freeze that's there here with her second and maybe get something undercover. This is going to need to curl, so they've switched out the sweepers, trying to get a little extra movement. Hits the red pretty much on the nose.
We got our answer on that yellow one. It was lined up pretty good to go back there, so sitting in pretty good shape with that, even though that they're not shot rock, but it's wide open, and they still got a couple yellows in the house that Yoshimura has to deal with now. So she's going to take a look at those angles because there's a lot of jam opportunity there, so she'll have to figure out how she wants to hit this.
Can't really make the double. It's going to jam onto that other red at the back. And if she hits and rolls behind the corner, she won't be second shot. So going to have to hit and roll towards the center line. She's looking to roll past it. That might make the double and the roll. Well, the back rock won't go completely out of the rings, but you can jam it so that at least it's out of the 8-foot. And again, we see the switch on the sweeper trying to get a little bit extra curl. She actually went for the double over the top. That quiet weight enough to hang on to the shooter as well. So Yoshimura sitting 3 here with last rock in the first end.
And she's lined them up pretty much straight across, so it takes away the chance for the double. So pretty scary situation here for Skylar, that she'll have to figure out a way to try to get a little bit hid with this roll and just put a little bit of pressure back, or at least group a couple rocks to give an opportunity to possible double for her last one.
I'm not sure if they're trying to roll here, or if you nose and they nose again, you might have an angle for a double. I'll put that rock up around the tee line.
Skylar very good
Big shot here for Skylar Ackerman in the first end.
Yeah, it's just
in some trouble without last rock, facing 3. Nothing out of the brushers now, looking to get it to curl. Looks like they might have been trying to get a roll, but hits and stays pretty much right there. I don't think I mind having stayed right there. If Yoshimura hits this on the nose, she's going to have a chance to either play a double or hit and roll, I think.
Yeah, it's hard for her to be able to roll into a perfect spot that there's not some sort of double opportunity for Skylar for her last one to try to cut down on the possibility of a big end.
Yeah, still not the not the shot you'd like to have to play if you're Skylar Ackerman with your last one. I need to make a double to hold it.
Yeah, right out of the gate. So a little bit of pressure, but like I said, it's a very talented team, and she's a talented shooter. So hopefully she gets a shot at showing that and getting a chance to maybe get a double out.
Sayaka Yoshimura, the skip, her first stone here in end number 1, looking to hit set 3. Makes the hit, does stay right there. Decision you got to make here is, are you playing straight for the double or just to hit and roll in front of it? It's actually probably a little on the thin side for a double. Thinner than half, anyway. Playing it from that side with that ice, I think she's playing the hit and roll, Jeff.
Yes. By the looks of it here too, yes.
It
Trying to
doesn't look
just
like she's throwing a lot of weight with that ice. You got two ways you can do it with the roll. You can roll dead in behind cover or roll just a little bit past the guard and sit in front of the redstone.
She might be coming up this with a peel weight and holding it right there and making the double to the wide side.
Oh, you think so? I don't.
No,
I think
not the
going
way
other
she
way.
kicked out. Yeah.
They didn't look at the other one at all.
Trying to get it to curl, trying to get a roll over there. Trying to get
Makes
that
the hit.
hit. We're very close here, Sean. Fantastic shot there. Still an opportunity, but definitely will make him think about it now.
Question is, can you see enough to get at it directly, or do you have to play the double on the yellows, which is a possibility as well?
They're looking at both. They're going to clean that up.
I think they've opted to play it as the double. They did ask down. She can see a piece of that behind the corner guard. Probably not enough to score more than two, though. If you went after it directly, you're probably losing the shooter.
Well, big shot. Skylar has an opportunity to steal her way out of this end, but Oshamira could really make a statement by starting off with a 3-ball. So big shot coming up that could, big swing, basically a 4-point swing here.
Last rock here, first end. Needs the double, looking for some curl. Gonna catch it, does come across enough to move that Yellowstone out. Did catch her own, so it's just gonna be two, but still a good start for the Oshamira team. They pick up two here in the opening end. Skylar Ackerman will have last rock when we come back for the second.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
That's going to be on you.
I just didn't want to.
Welcome back. Second in. Just underway after picking up two in the first end. The Oshamira team calling for this first one into the rings. And as that one slides to the back of the forefoot, we were just getting some advice off air that we've got the lineup for the Japanese team isn't what we have on paper. So we'll try to get that corrected for you. The lead for the Ackerman team, I can tell you, is Kaylin Skinner. Looking to throw the corner guard here.
So pretty typical start for the team in the second end here, where once you get up on the board, you'll typically see the opposition throw the stone to typically top 4. That slid a little bit deep on them, and then right away, as you're trying to get your deuce settled, you want to throw the corner. So far, carbon copy of what you want to do, and we'll just see how this plays out. We're going to go with a tight guard here, and going to have to see if they can get this to move. They got this quite a ways out there, but there is some strong finish at the end.
And the lead for the Japanese team is Anna Omaya. We had her listed as second. She's throwing the lead stones, we understand. One of the things that makes it difficult for us when we're doing these is that they're, for a lot of these players, the headshots that they use for the player identifications are usually almost like professional fashion photography type shots, and then they've all got their hair pulled back in ponytails when they get on the ice, and when you're looking on a tiny wee little screen and the pictures don't match, it's a little tougher.
No, we thank those people out there actively on the chat. The chat line's very busy out there, which is great to see. It's great to see so many people out there just making the connections around the world, and knowing that people around the world just watching this action right here in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. It's just kudos to SaskTel and the curling stadium for providing such amazing coverage for us, and for CBC picking it up as well. It's just great opportunity for people everywhere to see those that they friends or family or just fans of curling get to watch some great action.
Skinner looking for the hit and roll. Gets to the edge of the guard, but not underneath cover. So this is the second for the Japanese team. Keiho Onodera. The out-turn hit attempt. Might have set that just a little bit, so they're sweeping for some curl early. It's got the nice quiet weight, that might save her. Going to make contact, drives it through the back, and with that nice controlled weight, able to hold the shooter in the 8-foot. Second for the Ackerman team is Taylor Stremlich. Looking to make the double here.
I think they're just going to go for a little hit and roll action
roll
here to try to sit in front of it. Yeah, so they're just calling for kind of a control weight so that they can control it and just get a nice little roll over. But that one didn't react the way they're looking for, and they ended up getting a little roll behind the corner. So
yeah, that was a plan B. I don't think they were looking to roll that way.
Good plan B there. That one just curled pretty quickly on them.
So another hit attempt here for Onodera, but this one a little trickier. She's got to negotiate the guard this time, and they're on the sweep right away. This one's certainly curling more than the first did.
They're going to go to a plan B real quick here, see if they can save that shooter. Around.
Saves the shooter. I don't know if you're happy to have saved it there. It's actually an opportunity for Skylar Ackerman to perhaps play a freeze into the pocket of those two Reds. I think they're sitting shot rock right now.
Yeah, from the overhead, it looks like yellow, and Skylar's first tap on the rock showed that they were sitting shot. So now they're just figuring out where they want to set their second one up. And if you set that yellow up just in front of the red, then it takes away the double opportunity if they tried to go for it, because there would be the jam. So it's a good solid spot to put it, and a lot of granite there to back it up.
Well, with the tick on the attempted hit, there's not really a guard that you could use. So May as well play the freeze into the pocket that they gave you.
Good communication between the sweepers and the house there. It's always good to see the communication stay there. You never want to be the quiet one and say, wow, I should have said something with that. So good communication of the weight so that they could judge that curl. So great team shot there.
Brings it right down on top. Not much the Japanese team can do with that stone, so they're going to make a play on the open one. And this is the third. This is the player that we don't have on our roster sheet. And Jeff, you had an update on the name there?
Well, I'm not going to get it right, but I believe it's Yuna Katani is shooting right now.
Well, you got a better chance of getting it right than me because at least you've got it in front of you.
It's just thanks to our fans out there on the chat line. They are even helping us with the pronunciation there, Sean. So
I'm scared to ask how many I've butchered already. Looks like they're going to make a play on the frozen stone and try to release it. You're not going to get it out, but what they're looking to do here, hit on the nose, leave their shooter in front of the yellow stone, and they'll lose the red at the back. That'll give them a chance to get that yellow stone out later. Critical to stay right on the nose, though, with a shot like this.
And that they did. Now they left theirs in a pretty good spot there. So Skylar's going to have to rearrange some rocks here. Don't believe she's going to be able to get rid of the red, so she's just going to have to come down with some weight there. She's tapping on just some bump weight to rearrange those rocks. I
think that hand signal for this team is hack. She doesn't even care if she probably isn't too concerned if she kills anything. Wants to break the existing freeze, and then that yellow that's behind it will come off the red, probably stay in the back of the 12-foot somewhere with hack weight.
Just like a chess game, just repositioning, setting things up, giving yourself an opportunity to get the bigger end by keeping the rocks in play.
And she'd like to keep the shooter in front of that red one somewhere if she could. This might be a little quiet.
Both sweepers hard on this one. It is a little quiet, so they're going to try their best to get it there. This is going to over curl on them if it even touches. So
just a little quiet. It's back 8-foot weight. She needed enough weight to move those rocks more than that was going to. Still leaves Ackerman sitting second, third, and fourth. So the Japanese have to be a little bit careful here. Looking at what she can do with the lone stone on the other side of the sheet. One thing you have to like when you're covering some of these international teams is when they use the signals that you know what it means. When she taps the boards, that's board weight. That's pretty universal. Doesn't matter what language you speak. Rush was on early, but it's been a little bit of off and on, and now at the end looking for some extra curl.
Well, you knew it was close. Anytime that they're on and off and on and off, you know darn well that you're going to be close. So it's a good sign as a sweeper. You want to be ready either way, but you know that you're really close to making that shot that you want when you're that close on the call. Skylar's got to check out the situations here and make some moves on here. She's going to check out the angles of what they leave. At first call, I would say that I like the play of coming off that red one that she's got her broom over right now and trying to get over that double there. That yellow will kill that red and reshuffle it over there. But right now, it's not sitting very good. That red one's definitely going to be out counting those yellows unless they make some kind of movement on them. So I think she's got to probably make that play on them now to have a chance to bring those yellows into scoring possibilities.
You know you're going to lose your one yellow when you're playing this kind of weight. You'll double the yellow red at the back. The top red's not going anywhere. And I think what they've indicated is they're going to roll towards that stone that was just delivered. Sit on top of it or even nudge it over a little bit would be good. Gaia Kennedy.
I believe actually if they can get half a stone, they can, or a third of the stone, they could actually make that double off there too. Gonna need this to curl a little bit or it's gonna go underneath.
Saving grace there perhaps is when you hit it that thin, it dragged hard enough that the Yellowstone didn't leave the rings.
I have a feeling those yellows are going to be short-lived here though, Sean. They're set up pretty good for a little double and roll, and I'm pretty sure they're going to want a house that's just full of red rocks by the time Yoshimura here is done shooting.
All of them will be behind the tee line though, and you could leave a pocket here. It might leave a chance for Skylar to freeze down in there.
Getting settled in the hack and wanting to throw a nice clean shot up here. If she makes the double, she's sitting in such great shape, so good opportunity.
Have to think with that broom, she's not going to be light here.
No, she was going to throw whatever weight she could get onto that. Looks like she's got an absolute beauty here, Sean.
Makes the double and manages to spin her shooter through enough that she will not leave any kind of a pocket.
A little decision time by Skylar, whether they are going to try to double off and maybe still actually could even bring the blank into play, even though there's 3 red rocks there, but she might just look at corner freezing or a freeze too if she really wants to gamble. So they're going to discuss this as a little bit of a team and see what kind of decision they want to play, whether it's the safe, try to make one of the doubles, or gamble with the freeze and to see what happens. Looks like we have a freeze opportunity coming up, so. Actually, she's got the intern. Looks like she's going for the cross the house double here, Sean.
Yeah, across the house or the straight back.
Yeah, I think when they were looking at the angles, they were looking at coming across there, so. Quite a bit of ice here.
Quiet weight too. I think
and it's quiet weight, yes.
It's maybe she's trying to get the straight back and jam the one stone and leave something back there that you might get a jam on.
They're going for the hit and roll. I'm not sure that was the easiest shot there rather than just a straight freeze.
Well, regardless,
yeah,
she hit
the
rolls
tougher
out,
shot.
and it gives the Japanese team a chance to put one in front of the tee line that could make your shot for one a lot more difficult.
last-minute discussion of exactly where they wanted this rock for the sweepers. So it's great communication there, so that they're all on the same page.
So looking to draw here with her final stone. Try to put this top of the 8-foot somewhere, kind of take away the path to the back stone. Probably want to leave it high enough here that a nose hit wouldn't get you shot rock either.
Looks like they're pretty happy with the weight coming in. They wanted this to curl a bit. Might slide a little further than they were planning, but going to be a great shot, which it is. And that shrinks up the house quite a bit. We're just going to have to catch half of the button here.
Nose hit would not get you shot rock unless you made just enough off the nose to get the double.
Well, looks like Skylar is not comfortable enough to make that draw, so she's going to go with one of her strengths, which is hitting, and she's just going to just off nose double and sit there for the one as the plan. So let's see what our young skip from Saskatchewan has here, and see if she can throw a nice one down there and make a beautiful double here to score her one, tie this game up. Or no, I guess be one back.
Yeah, trailing by 2 here as we play the second end. Facing 3 with her final stone, needs the double.
They like it out of her hand. Sounds like it's moving early on them though,
Sounds
Sean.
a little bit more panic now.
Have to go, yes.
She gets past the nose, she could jam it. That is going to be a steal. Catches the second stone now. How far is the shooter going to roll? It rolls too far and looks like it is a steal of 2 for Yoshimura. And she'll take a 4-0 lead after 2 ends of play. It'll be Ackerman with last rock once more when we come back.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Questions about if our houses are painted or they logo. Our events are always painted houses, but in the future coming out, I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to all logo houses. They're a great revenue source for any curling club. You can get your advertisements on there, and usually after the first year, the houses are paid for. It's all free money for you. So hopefully check Jet Ice out for your future in-house logo.
You jam it.
Wow.
Welcome back, everyone. Skylar Ackerman needed a double with her final stone and just over curls. It's a steal of 2. Yoshimura jumping out to a 4-0 lead in this C event qualifying game. Winner goes on to the playoff round tomorrow morning. The losers will be eliminated. This is certainly the start that the Japanese team wanted, not the start that the Ackerman team would have liked, but I guess your saving grace is you're playing the 5-rock free guard zone on ice that we have seen all weekend long has been very conducive to scoring some points.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of high-scoring games, and even those with commanding leads. It's amazing how many teams have come back after looking like they're gonna be run out, and next thing you know, coming down end number 7 and 8, it's within 1 or 2 rocks scoring. So lots of opportunity. The ice has been running fantastic, very consistent for the teams, and especially if you take advantage of that 5 rock free guard zone, it's a lot of play can still happen.
Yeah.
A lot of rocks can get in play, and anything can happen. Ends can swing back and forth so quickly with
to your
just
point,
minor
Jeff,
misses.
To your point, very difficult to just switch to straight defense this early in a game with the 5 rock free guard zone.
Absolutely. You'd think, oh yeah, I get up to an early lead and people see scoreboards and think, wow, why didn't they just hit everything out? Well, when you put a lot of rocks into play, you just can't simply take them all out. So it's not that easy to make doubles and triples, and so yeah, anything can happen, and that's why we see a lot of wild scoreboards out there. And unless you're watching it, doesn't make sense. But then once you see these games in play and realize how difficult it can be if you get the rocks in the right spot, anything can happen out there.
The 4-0 lead, though, Japan not interested in playing any center guard, so they brought their first 2 stones in the top of the forefoot. Corner guard thrown on the first one for the Ackerman team, and now looking to come around that corner guard. This one curled early on them and a little bit light as well. Not able to get by. Not able to make the ring. So it works as a second corner guard, although once we're into the 6th rock of the end and those 2 can be peeled, they're fairly close together for a double peel if the Japanese are so inclined. Can't peel yet, so they're going to bring a 3rd one into the rings. This is one of the more common tactics that we see for a team that's out in front, trying to play defense a little bit. You try to just pile everything into the forefoot area, knowing that eventually your opposition is going to have to deal with these rocks, and when they do, maybe you can group things and get a double. They actually play this as a guard, so they've got everything in their favor in the middle right now, and Skylar Ackerman thinking, well, maybe we've got to start dealing with these now.
As you can see how accurately placed the front end has put those red rocks. Yoshimura must be happy with that. They are in a perfect lineup.
Looks like they're playing fairly quiet weight at this. Probably trying to hold the shooter, perhaps roll it into the rings. Don't even care necessarily if they get the top one all the way through. Just need to get it off that center line for now.
Yeah, chip over, use it as another yellow guard.
Probably would have liked to be a little thinner than that.
Are you a little surprised that they're running up to call this guard on those 2 rocks instead of when you're 4 up, maybe starting to peel some of that, Sean?
Well, again, it goes back to what we were just saying. It's hard to go straight defense for 6 ends in the 5 rock free guard zone. You've got things pretty much in your favor, certainly in the house. Those 2 stones are going to take 2 rocks to deal with. So if you can guard here, you can force the Ackerman team to waste a few rocks.
A lot of teams would have thought, oh, let's just go out and peel there and keep it clean. But at the same time, you're right. You're right in there, and you're forcing Skylar to make some big shots and waste some rocks there. Otherwise, you're sitting so good. So this is very offensive tactic, and going to put a lot of pressure on Skylar here as this end goes.
It was set up by the lead stones, which he put those 2 stones in there so good. She's got the first one on the button, the second one top forefoot. That's certainly a guardable position. You know that Skylar Ackerman's got to try to do something with that. And as long as she's trying to do something with it, it's hard for her to play offense. She's looking here to see if there's a way to do both. Looking at playing the angle, running on the yellow. The danger there, if you don't make it, you also don't uncover anything. And I think that was the comment that came from the other end. We better make sure we deal with the center guard. Taylor Stremlich, the second. Big weight on the in-turn. Jumped the sweep on this right away.
Yeah, she got that turned in right off the bat, and a lot of yellow rocks out front, and they are staggered, the red ones, so there's going to be some opportunity there, possible run-ins now. So, but she unfortunately just got that one turned in off the beginning, but just changes the looks of it, that's all. There's still going to be some opportunities there.
Japanese sitting 2 right now and still mostly behind cover, so just trying to hook this guard a little bit. It's going to stay completely open on that side of center. Does cover the path to shot rock, but doesn't take away any of these run backs.
Skylar will just figure out which one she likes the looks of to run in. Looks like she's looking at the higher one.
It is
a
the
little less
straighter.
angle.
It is the straighter one, and of course, after the last one, there's enough of a stagger on those 2 in the rings that if you can absolutely stuff the run back, you can double the 2 reds. You actually could flip this end around in a hurry here. You could leave yourself sitting 1 behind cover.
Yes, this could be a big turnaround shot right here. Looks like she's got that thrown out a little bit though, so let's see if it'll come back in time, which it's not going to.
Now you get a little bit of bonus off the corners.
Oh, that would have been nice to get a little bonus hit off there.
Touched
Almost
it, but
started.
Not enough to put it into the rings. That's what I was looking at. You get a little biter out of that. It might have been the opportunity to use that for your second point. The really unfortunate thing about that is it gives, for the Ackerman team, it gives the Japanese a chance to throw another center guard, and now you won't have anything of your own to run direct back. She does still have the angle. That's an all or nothing shot because you won't open it up if you miss the angle run.
Skylar has a choice here to run that red one straight back now, Sean. That would be a pretty close natural triple if she could hit that right on the nose, and that would leave 2 yellow rocks right out in the center. So it would be a good situation, but we are getting down there in rocks, and kind of want to get a yellow one in there.
Yeah, the only way to get the yellow one in there is play the angle run on the yellow, and the danger there, and it's, I mean, they looked at it once before, and I've talked about it a couple of times already. If you miss it, if you don't make contact with the rocks in the house,
yeah,
you also didn't open them up, and it's getting pretty late. You'd like to get one or the other here. It'd be great to make the triple. But if you don't,
I think they're almost forced into it here, though. Like, yeah, that's what they're going to go with, and so this would be a time to throw a pistol right down the middle.
You either make the triple, or at the very least, if this over curls on you, you roll off, and she's got to put the guard back.
Another one that she seemed to just get outside on the release, so girls are just struggling with the release a little bit and just not getting it down the broom.
Well, and the worst part of that one might have been that she's taken away her own angle run. I don't think she can see enough of it anymore to angle it towards the 2 reds.
No, she's unfortunately crossed over 2 rocks, so very unfortunate on that miss there, and gonna put Skylar into a world of hurt with a couple rocks to come. Right now, as it sits, those 3 clumped up yellow rocks, Skylar would have an opportunity to hit the first one, and it would angle over and hit the other one towards the middle, but it's almost impossible to judge exactly where that's going to go. So
yeah,
if Yumira can put a nice center guard in here, it's not too sure where Skylar's going to be able to go.
she might have to play the run back on it again, so they might look to put this guard even a little bit higher than the last one. This is the only good run back that Skylar's going to have. I mean, she does have a run back on the other red guard, but it's not on the right angle to make the triple.
Well, the sweepers don't want to sweep this. They're putting up the hand gestures that they don't really want to sweep because of the weight.
They're looking for the little rub at the end to close the gap, and good communication.
Absolutely. They knew they had a little more weight than they planned, and so that they knew it was going to run straighter, and by giving that information, they could call on the sweep at the end and get that little rub over to still do the job. It's going to leave the opportunity again for this triple opportunity, but again, you're going to have to throw a very solid rock, and you're still not throwing a yellow one into the rings.
No, and by moving that yellow one as they did, it takes away any possibility that there might be a shot off that cluster too.
Yes, so the cluster shot was there, now it's gone too. So yeah, that last shot worked pretty good.
Might have been there. There also might have been a possibility she could have hit the one on the left hand side from the overhead view, the right hand as we look at it, and maybe get it by, but it doesn't go by the stone that was just tapped up now.
All right, let's see if Skylar can get that release and throw it down the broom and make a big shot here for the team.
They haven't had a lot going their way so far in this game. Triple here, even if it doesn't end up helping them on the scoreboard right away, it could certainly swing some momentum towards this young team. They need a big shot to stem the tide, so to speak.
Well, we're closer on this one. They're wanting it to curl up a little bit, but they're definitely closer. Here we go. We got action. Oh, and just missed that last one on the button. Very, very close, within an inch of getting a nice big triple there. So good throw and very close in the result.
Needed to sweep that. She needed to hit the first one just a little bit thinner.
Yeah, so she just had to get him on a little sooner there, Sean. That would have made the highlight reel for sure.
So really all Yoshimura looking for here is to guard the yellow run back. And I guess depending on where she puts this, Skylar Ackerman will have a choice to make. Do you play the red run back on the left-hand side as we look at it for the blank, or do you play the double run back, the guard she's about to play, onto your own, onto the rock in the rings, and hope for the blank or maybe a single? Not the decision you want to have to make when you're already down 4.
There's really no good. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be.
You'd like to have an easier,
nice decision. Yes,
somewhere.
Absolutely.
Did pick this one up early. Now they've switched to the other side, feeling if they need to go at all, they're going to have to make it curl.
I think they're pretty confident with where they're going to go by the communication there, and that's a great shot, as that angle run would be really difficult. So they're going to go with the draw around the wide side and try to catch a piece of that button. So Not an easy shot, but there's nothing out there that's easy right now. So they're looking at that yellow over there and seeing if there's room to angle that. That's a wide yellow shot in, or like I said, using the red is probably the easiest shot, is the red run back angle, but the team's going to discuss it now.
The double run's not any harder, I don't think. Red onto yellow onto red.
Yep, that's what they're looking at right now.
You got two options that way too that are good. I mean, you could stuff it and get one, or if you're really fortunate, you could blank that way. It's not that far off a nose hit to make it.
And there's no, as far as I can see, there would be no risk doing that shot. It could make it worse.
I don't see any risk. The angle run, it's there. There's room to make it, but it's so tough to make those when you're trying to line up a shot that the shot you're directing it to is so thin to make that.
Oh, that's what they're going to go with, and this will be great. I have a good feeling about this. Maybe it'll make the highlight reel afterwards.
Well, it's so close to the shot she just threw too. So they just saw how that rock ran. Been nothing but big shots so far here for this young skip. Skylar Ackerman trailing by 4, facing 1, needs the double raise with her final stone. Might have a chance for the blank here. At the very least, she'd like to pick up a point, get on the board. We're on the brush early, now they backed away.
Really
needed to curl just that little bit more. Jams on another one out front, does spin into the rings, but it's going to be a steal of 1 for Yoshimura. The Japanese jump out to a 5-0 lead. Skylar Ackerman continues to have last rock.
I came to Val Marie to see where my mother was born, and it turns out she lived along the Northwest Mounted Police Trail.
So every morning, my mom would get up, and that's the view she would have. 70 Mile Butte. Named that because it's halfway between Wood Mountain and east end of Cypress Hills, and that's the police patrol line. And she will walk that line to school, to Val Marie, every day.
What I know for sure is that whenever I need to step back and take a look at the bigger picture, this is where I come. Here, you can see more than 20 kilometers in every direction. I came for the homestead, but the butte brought me home.
Sean Joyce, Jeff Chambers here with you from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. C event qualifying action Saturday night. Winners moves on to the championship round tomorrow morning. And right now, the Yoshimura team having everything their way. They have played fantastic, and the Ackerman team getting behind a little bit, has had to try some desperation type shots and have yet to make any of those shots.
Well, they've been forced into some low percentage shots, and it gets tough after a little while for sure. Not keeping track of the stats, but this Japanese team, I don't know if they've missed a shot yet, Sean. It's been just beautiful curling right from the lead stones right through to the skip, and they look like they're in total control right now. So Skylar will have to come out with something magical here to see if they can turn this around.
Well, the setup here to this fourth end, not quite as good for the Japanese team as it has been previously, and you might see Skylar Ackerman. Well, I was wondering if she'd throw the second corner guard, if we're at that point yet where you feel you need two guards, I mean.
Yeah, well, I was quite surprised even on the other end that she only threw up one corner and decided to go around, especially with the 5 rock free guard zone, to have a safe secondary guard. You think that they would try on both sides of the sheets.
There are teams when they're playing the double corners that will play them on the same side of the sheet as well. But
yeah, absolutely. So just kind of surprised that they keep sticking with one. That was a good break. They missed the draw, but they got the freeze right onto the red one. So that yellow is going to stick around for a little while. But yeah, typically we'll see them control either 2 guards on one side lined up straight, or try to even them out on either side of the sheet. So still surprised that Ackerman hasn't gone that to the aggressive guard approach, but we'll have to see how this plays out.
looking for a few more opinions here as to whether or not I think the question is, do you think we can get this out underneath the other red? And I don't think you can, no matter how hard you blast it. I think it's going into that stone.
I think my vote's the same. It's definitely going into that red. So that actually rolled to a really, really good spot for Ackerman. So that'll cause a little grief for Yoshimura. She'll have to deal with it.
They maybe think it'll go. Sometimes I do find a few of these games, and sometimes you have to defer to the players on the ice. They've got a better look at the angles. Well, it looks like we're directly overhead. We're actually over top of the button. So we're not right over top of the 2 stones at the top of the house. Even if she doesn't get rid of it, she'd like to break that freeze anyway.
Well, we're about to find out. Did run into it.
Bumps it a little farther over, so at least the shot stone is open for Yoshimura. For Skylar Ackerman, she's sitting 1 and a chance to try to get around the corner guard, see if she can't get something going here in the 4th end.
Here again, I'm maybe a little surprised too that they don't they have that shot in the house, and why they don't throw a corner up on that one and try to protect it for a little while. Well, they're happy with this one. They're off and on it, and good communication, saying they got the weight. Looks like the line's going to be pretty good. They're not too worried about it going back in the house. They just wanted to get that covered up.
Yeah, don't mind if it's deep. Probably even prefer that it's deep. It might give you the chance to bring 2 in around there. Japanese team looking at making a play on the corner guard, ignoring the 2 stones in the rings. Would have surprised me had she stayed with that, but early enough in the end, it's not a horrible call.
Nope, couple different options here. So she could go for the double in the house. She could go for this double, and the good news is that they're chasing after the doubles. So Ackerman's happy. They've got 3 lively rocks there, so in pretty good shape so far, and see if they can keep that going.
Puts the guard, comes across, and if you knew you could make the double in the house, you'd play that all day. That looks like a Jeff Chambers special right there.
Maybe at one day. Well, Skylar's going to cover that up. She's still in great shape here. She's still got 1, even though that was a double. She's still in good shape here. She's going to put the corner back up there and We'll see Team Yoshimura. She'll probably go up and peel that right away, but at least it'll protect that stone for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. I think it's hard to say who's shot rock right now. That's not critical at this juncture. Needs to get a guard on there. They want to make the Japanese team throw a few peels, waste a few rocks, and they'll have a chance perhaps to pick up a deuce this end.
Nice tight guard, perfectly covered up the shot stone. So this won't be very hard to make this decision, so they'll ask for the peel.
A lot of times the only decision that you have to make in an end like this for Skylar Ackerman is how many guards do you throw before you make a play on that stone in the rings. And with a 5-0 lead, I don't think you're ever too worried about the Japanese team switching gears on you here.
Well, you know what they're going to do before they do it.
Two more guards, do you think?
Yeah. Still leaves two. They might make a move in with the third last rock. You don't want to leave too many opportunities. Like once you come into the house, then there's probably a chance at some sort of double. So you don't want to give too many shots at those doubles where you want to try to narrow it down to one or two to increase your odds of scoring.
I think you could almost throw two more guards because I don't think, we don't know this Japanese team very well, but I don't think they would switch gears with a 4-point or 5-point lead. I think you throw one more guard, they're still going to peel it.
No, I think you're right there. There is absolutely no hesitation from her there, and I don't think there will be on the next shot either.
That would be your concern, right? That would be the concern. If you throw the one more guard, does she turn around and draw on you, and now you might not have a chance for two, but...
Even clean the odd corner over there, so there's not even a spot to hide for that one. So
no, you couldn't have played the hit on that and rolling behind now. And they are going to discuss it.
Yeah, you can see Skylar's hands go up. It's like, hey, do we guard one more time, or do we have to make a play on this? And that allows them two more shots at a double. But like you said, if you throw up a nice, beautiful corner and they come right on top of you, then all of a sudden you might lose that opportunity to get two. So big gamble regardless. You just got to decide which way you want to gamble it.
Talking about coming around the red too, I don't love that.
Very difficult shot.
Well, and what
they're
are you
just going to hit
because they're going to hit the
they're
open
just going to
one.
hit the open one anyway. So and then that makes it very tough for you to make your last shot on the red. So it would be a very difficult one if they called that. I think they just got to try to hit that and allow them to try for the slash double, and very tough shot.
I still think I'm throwing one more guard, but I don't think they are. Throw one more guard, let her come around. If she freezes to it, you follow it down again. But if she doesn't make it good,
that wasn't much of a discussion. No, Skylar wasn't even looking at the guard. Even with the discussion with the team, it was, how are we going to put this one in the house? So. I like the looks of it so far. Starting to move on them a little bit now, but nice light clean, so hitting it right where they wanted to, and great separation. There's no inside double there, very thin, so it looks like they're going to just hit and roll it across. Try to make it a little more difficult. This is the shot she wanted. There wasn't much discussion on this, even though everybody was down there. This is the shot she wanted to play, and
if you could hit this, broom side, roll just to the other side of center, you're probably shot rock. And you'd be in a spot where it would be hard for Skylar to roll back to this side of the center line because she'd be risking a jam.
Yeah, it's definitely the shot she wants to do here. So she wants to try to force Skylar into hitting and giving her an opportunity at a double for her last shot. They're trying to make this one curl now, so trying to get in a position.
Going to be a little thin on the first one now. Did they get the bonus and come right across, touch it? Just went over the top of it. Does hold the shooter at the edge of the 12, but Ackerman sitting one and a chance to split the rings now and make sure she's got a chance for two.
Yeah, right where she's tapping her broom. Yeah, she'll make sure when she goes down the other end, she'll be telling the front exactly where she wants it. So right on the back four and split the house and then give herself the best opportunity for her deuce.
Really important for the Ackerman team, I think, here to pick up their deuce. It's been their first chance to have something going their way, and trailing by 5. 5 ends left to play. They really need something to go right here. Pick their spirits up a little bit, give them some confidence going into the last half. Still plenty of game to play.
Well, with the line being good, now they're going to give it to the sweepers, and the sweepers are going to do their best at putting it right at the back four, right even up with that other rock. Talking to one another, they feel it's there by itself.
There by itself, and then maybe a little bit.
Then some, yeah, they were on that.
It gets stopped in time. That's a pretty flat double.
It is pretty flat. We'd have to see some pretty good speed on this, so we'd have to see what kind of weight Yoshimura could put on this. But it is there for sure. But it's that's you'd have to hit this pretty thick, Sean. So we'd have to see this rock moving pretty quick.
She doesn't really have any reason not to give it a go, though. She's got a 5-point lead already. If she just plays the straight hit, it's going to be a fairly routine shot for two for Skylar Ackerman. Even if you just hit this first one thick with big weight and roll over there towards that second one, get them grouped and might cause some problems for Skylar that way. Final stone here for Yoshimura in the fourth end. She's up by 5, looking for the big weight double. Across the house. Makes the hit, comes across.
Across and just underneath.
Skylar Ackerman will have the opportunity. Needs full 12-foot with her final stone. Put the first one in the back 8, which is where she needed it to be. Take a little bit more ice here, draw towards the button instead of away from it.
There's a nice smile from Skylar there. That's good to see. Somebody must have had a good one back there to talk about. So now they're ready to throw and get settled. Go through your routine. Just throw a draw to the button. It's off and to the sweepers.
She's picked it up early, but backing away now, just cleaning.
This is a very good sign to see this. Looks like she's going to put this right where she needs it, right on the button to score that ever needed deuce. Beautiful draw.
Does put it right on the button. They're on the board. Skylar Ackerman picks up 2 points here in the fourth end. Yoshimura will lead 5-2 going into the fifth, and she'll have last rock when we come back.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
We just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed doubles. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in.
Skylar Ackerman with a deuce in 4 has gotten herself onto the board. Now is going to have to try to steal. Still trailing by 3. Looks like they've called for the high center guard here to get things underway in the fifth end, and that's probably an indication they're planning to throw 2 guards here. Yoshimura looking for the tick shot. Playing this shot with very quiet weight. Manages to make contact with the center guard, and they will spin the shooter into the rings. That's a great way to start the end for the Yoshimura team. Skylar Ackerman just conferring with the team as to where they want to place this next guard. Do you try to put them in line with one another, or is it more important to cover the center line? And I think I heard her talking about we don't have mics on the players, but there are mics on the cameras, and it's getting quiet enough out there we can sort of hear them a little bit. I think she was worried about if you play the center line here, you might leave a double peel later on because you're going to leave some angle.
Sean, are they not? I thought they were playing the new rule with the if you manage to put your guard on the touching the center line that you weren't able to move it off. Is that not in play here?
That is not in play here.
That's very interesting because I watched one of the other teams I was commentating on. They were looking at that to see if they could hit it off there. So I'm not sure if everybody knew the rules ahead of time. I know they've played around with the idea of a few different rules, and they've actually done that in competition last year. So I just wasn't sure where they were at with exploring that into other events.
The only, I just got a note from producer James Gordon, and they only place where they're using that in this competition is in extra ends.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. That would answer that one. That was in an extra end, so that would make sense.
Boy, how's that for 2 tick shots in the 5th end, and you manage to spin both of your shooters into the rings. Skylar Ackerman looking at coming around the 2 yellow guards, but they're so close together and lined up that the double peel is as close to automatic as you can make a double peel. I don't know, Jeff, would you ever think about throwing another center guard here?
Oh, I definitely would, yeah.
Yeah, because I think, you know, that double peel is automatic, and there's the danger if you bury this, it comes back and kills the stone in the rings as well. You know, it's one of those ones where it looks like it's lined up to go by it probably, but it's going to drag a bit. It might drag right over the top of it.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting to see for sure, because there's definitely going to be some drag effect on this. They're close together. She's giving a measurement right now, letting them know how far apart they are. So she's going to try to see the angle, and this will be one of those wait and see shots probably for everybody, just to see how good they go back.
Don't think you're going to have to wait very long. I expect there'll be some weight on this one.
Looks like she threw that outside a little bit on the release, but could have been just the way she was lined up. But no, they do want this to curl up.
Catches
Good
both
break
stones,
here.
but very thin on the second one, and can't sweep it till it gets to the tee line. And it is going to stay for Shot Rock, actually behind those staggered 2 reds at the top of the 12-foot. Bit of a break for the Ackerman team.
Absolutely, yes. Skylar can put that up on the center right where she wants to put it now, and
doesn't give you the steal opportunity yet, but that rock hanging around the back of the 12 behind those 2 biters kind of takes them out of play right now, and that had to be creeping into Skylar Ackerman's mind, is that we can't afford to give up another big end. Now you've actually got the force in play at the very least. Still time to try to set up a steal.
Great shot there, right where Skylar wanted it. I assume they're going to take a chance at the double peel here, which they are.
Makes the hit, just drives it across the top of the stone, nibbling the top of the 12-foot, so straight peel. Skylar Ackerman will look to put it back.
Looks like she's just going to try to change the angle just ever so slightly. She touched just on the other side of center line just to see if she could change that angle shot for the opposition. While this is coming down, I can give a little bit of update. We have 3 other games going on to try to buy their spot into tomorrow's action. And right now we have Constantini over Kaiser. They're 4-1 after 4. We have Peterson that had a very healthy win over Team Rana, 8-1, and that's a final. And then Barker is in good control over Team Kim, up 7-2 after 5. So some big scoring events over there happening too. So
center guard put up, and another attempt now at the double peel.
well, this one's close, and that was successful. Beautiful angle double there. So nothing to hide behind. So Skylar will just put up a center guard, probably about a halfway guard, maybe a little tight.
You have to be a little careful about putting this too tight. You might see the Japanese team try to run that peel towards the stone at the back of the 12-foot now.
Looks like it's definitely there all on its own. She's gonna look at that right away, just like you said there, Sean.
Tighter than I would have liked. If it's higher, it's kind of dangerous for them to run it that way because of two reds over there yet.
Yeah, this is kind of a freebie for them, so they'll take a shot at this to see what happens. About a quarter of a stone will be pretty close.
Yeah. Well, if you ever clip that on the way by, it brings the big end back into play, and that could end the game.
She didn't like that on the release, got that started out a little bit. We could see a flash here. Well, that was a very fortunate.
Wouldn't have thought you could have picked that over the top of.
There's if you're a betting man, you would have taken the odds that would have been clean going right across the top of those red stones. That's for sure. That was just a sliver of the rock and moved it over.
I'm not seeing a steal here. Do you throw one more guard, or do you split the rings down and make sure you've got your chance for the fours?
I think I would throw one more up here. I don't know if I would throw it right on that center line and give her that same shot again. Maybe just off the side, but I think I'd throw one more guard and then split the rings and put the force on.
Skylar Ackerman with her first stone here in the fifth end, trailing by 3, looking to throw a center guard. Hoping she'll have something to come around with her last one.
They like where this one's going to be, a little bit higher. Going to assume we're going to see a straight peel. I don't know if they're going to take that crack at again. Nope, they're going to go for a straight peel this time.
Pretty dangerous now. That one's high enough.
Yep.
Tough to get it by the reds, and if you ever put it on the reds and spin it back into the 4-foot, that might be the best chance Skylar Ackerman could have for a steal.
Yeah, Skylar's discussing it now with Kaya to where they're going to put that their stone now, and figuring out the best spot where to put it. They're discussing that now.
Some of that usually comes down to, would you rather have your opposition hitting or drawing, and regardless of that, it's where is the borderline? Where do we put it where they have to think about both shots? You put it right on the button, they're hitting it for sure. If you put it in the 12-foot, they're probably drawing. Somewhere in between there is the sweet spot where you can put 2 shots in their head.
Yeah,
doesn't look like they've got their mind made up yet.
No, I'd probably say right where they're pointing. I'd probably say even just middle of the 8, just with back 4-ish weight, just to tease them with it being back a little bit, and just see if they decide they want to draw or if they're just going to hit against that to try to stick. Just like you said there, Sean, you want to make them question their shot.
Yeah, it's always, and every team's a little bit different, but you've got to try to figure out where is that spot. Unless you think there's a spot in the ice that's tricky, but where is that spot where you can make them think about which shot they want to play? Skylar Ackerman, 2 nice draws in the fourth end to pick up a deuce. Just looking to split the rings here. At the very least, she'll have the opportunity for the force. Maybe with a bit of a mistake can get a steal here.
Well, they like it out of their hands. They haven't been sweeping very hard. So they're just lightly dusting, so they're pretty happy with the weight. And they're having a look and walking this down right where they want to have.
Boy,
Definitely a lot shorter than I was expecting
yeah,
to see it.
I thought they'd be sweeping a little harder than that. Not what they had in mind. Now, it will work because
absolutely,
it doesn't really leave a double opportunity. It would be a very thin double, and she can't hit it because she wouldn't be shot rock, so she's going to have to draw.
In this situation, I like it, Sean. If I'm the opposition, yes, we left them a lot of room to draw, but as we know, anything can happen with rocks and shots, and now you're at least sitting 2, so when you're not hitting one of them, it's either you're giving up 1 or you're taking 2, and that 2 would be huge. So I like taking that gamble over just them hitting and me possibly getting 1.
So Yoshimura with her final stone here in the 5th end has a 3-point lead already, but facing 2 Ackerman biters in the 12-foot. Needs any bite of the 8-foot to pick up her single. And the Brushers picked this one up right out of her hand.
They sure did. They did not waste any time, and they are not holding back here. So this is an indication that it's light. Yeah, this is an indication it's light. So we'll see if they can drag this all the way in.
Well, easing up now.
Very nice, safe shot.
Nice
beautiful draw
by
there.
The Brushers, and they do bring that right into the corner of the button. It will be a single point for Yoshimura. She'll take a 6-2 lead into the 6th end. Ackerman will have last rock.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Six to 2, Yoshimura over Ackerman as we begin play here in the 6th end, and Yoshimura team with that 4-point lead throws the first one through the corner guard, being thrown by the Ackerman team. You can see that stone just coming to rest now, and Looks like the Oceanmura team looking to come top 4 here, are they? So threw one through, but we'll look to put the second one in the middle. Comes up a little short of what they had in mind, and Skylar Ackerman, no hesitation, going to look to come around. And once again, I thought she might opt for the second corner guard here. This is, you're getting down to the point where 4 down with 3 ends left to play, scoring 2 points at a time isn't going to get it done for you.
No, I'm still surprised. We've seen this a couple times now with multiple times down and just not taking advantage of the free guard zone.
Yeah.
Free guard zone rule that they came up with for a reason for these situations. So this is actually coming off. If they would just leave this, let it come up light, there's a double guard situation again.
Same thing that happened 2 ends ago when they were light trying to come around and left what's going to be a fairly routine double peel later. Last end, without last rock, they set up the start of the end as if they were going to play 2 guards. Now, there were 2 outstanding tick shots played, so we don't know whether they would have played the second center for sure, but I have to think that's the way they set it up. So I'm a little surprised that they wouldn't look to play 2 corners here.
They must have a preset strategy on that though, because to not even have the rest of the team discuss it. So there's a reason for it. They're also a young team too, like learning experience with every game. They're a very talented team for sure, and we're just a little excited to get in there actually. See if they can get one hidden behind there and get some action going on inside the house. Oh, I heard top 8, top 4 from the girls there. I could hear that. So weight's pretty good. They'll be able to maneuver this wherever they want it. Looks like the line's really good, Sean.
Boy,
so
really curling
should
as it
have
comes
an
in.
absolute pistol here. Want to get that right to the T line though. Make sure it's back there far enough to get separation from the guards. It's a beautiful draw there behind the corners.
That was actually the 6th rock of the end. The first one in the back corner already. It was thrown through, so the peels can start now, and I think enough room between those 2 stones that there's no chance it drags, so the double peel should miss the back one.
I have a feeling it could get pretty close though. Oh, just a single
Not
off
able
there.
to get the second guard.
So now typically with such a good spot there, you'd think that she'd just throw a really high guard there to double guard that side, or she might try to come around and corner freeze onto that red one in the rings.
We're still on second stones. I like your first thought, the high corner.
Typically we'd see that because right now it's just guarded so nicely. It would just be so good to protect that for a little bit here and maybe give an opportunity to come in. Just not a fan of throwing guards by the looks of it there.
Well,
they're looking like they want to get a rock into the house right away here.
I don't.
Oh, there we go.
I don't love moving that one in the 12 foot. I didn't
go.
mind the other idea of coming here down and sitting on the corner of shot rock.
No, they're going to play the high guard there. I'm not sure if that came from the front end there discussing it or not, but they're going to throw the high guard here and try to protect those 2 great stones there. And the high guard is no easy task. It's I find it one of the harder shots in curling to be able to judge that just to get over the hog line, and because you want to leave that as high as possible for separation. And That is not for the faint of heart to try to judge that just over the hog line and be patient enough to leave it. But looks like the team has done a wonderful job with this. Just over, beautiful angle, great shot there.
Just be the straight peel here. Any attempt at the double peel is the danger you bring it back into the red ones.
That's the beauty about throwing such a great stone there. So
still be another decision to be made here for the Ackerman team if this peel is made, because we're at the point in the end where is it time to bring a second one in? We're now on to third stones.
yeah, she was just discussing, do we do one more high one? If she could just go up and place that stone in the exact same place, Sean, I bet she'd do that right now.
She'd love that for sure. Yeah. This is where you want to be. If you're Ackerman, your chance for 3 is protect that one, and then on the next stone you've got to come in somewhere, whether it be another one around the double corners or sit on the corner of shot rock.
Yep. Nice patience again. Another great curling shot there. That's just fantastic. We might see a change of gears here. Instead of the peel, they might be coming in, so that could be a really good thing.
Well, I think
very unexpected for sure, but like I said, there's that time where do you stop playing defensive and go aggressive, and this would definitely be an aggressive play.
I think it comes down to the fact that they know Skylar Ackerman's got to come into the house on the next attempt, and she's actually set up here to potentially get 3, so they're going to play aggressive, try to take it away that way. If you're Skylar Ackerman, you can't be upset by this. It does give you a chance.
Absolutely. At this point, when you're down by 4, knowing that you've actually thrown up such great guards that you forced this kind of action, you're very happy. You're 1 miss away from really putting some serious pressure on. Well, I think they're liking the looks of this.
It's got a nice line coming into the rings. Now this
might be a slight bounce off, but pretty darn good.
Well, but that slight bounce off does give Ackerman room to make that stone go away.
This is a perfect opportunity for a back 12 weight. Yeah, that's what she's pointing at, and getting to the inside of that to sit 2 behind double guards. This is a terrific opportunity right now, so hopefully they can pull it off. Yeah, she's calling for that back 12 back line weight, and see if we can get a nice stone and might make things real interesting here real quick.
Critical to cross the face here a little bit. If you come down, tap it right on the nose, you've probably left room for the little slash double. Got to get a little bit undercover when you make this tap. Waiting for this stone to curl. We've seen the draws move big, but this is yet to cross center, starting to go now. Question is she going to get across the face? And she's not.
Weight was all right. They just couldn't seem to find the right spot there to get it to curl in there. So I'm not sure if it was just a release issue or a little bit too much ice, but
not a horrible spot though. She rolled enough that she really didn't leave an easy double on the yellows. If Yoshimura was to try to roll behind the center guard, she jams it on the one at the back.
no, definitely enough to make her think about a few things here. It's a whole team discussion now. They decide they're going to take the easier shot, which is pop it through the hole, and if they can get a little bit of rollover and kind of corner that would make it pretty tough.
So looking here, I guess, for the nose hit, or maybe just a sliver past the nose, roll a little bit towards the guards. You can't roll dead under cover, I don't think, or you might not be second shot. Yoshimura with her first stone here in the sixth end. Just looking to eliminate the Ackerman stone in the forefoot, but this has got a curl. If she's on the center line side of it all, she'll jam it onto her own stone at the back.
Oh, this could be a big break.
And does leave it in the 8-foot, so Yoshimura for now sitting 2, but third and fourth belongs to Ackerman, and no direct access to either of those stones right now.
Oh, there's not an automatic call here that I see for Skylar. They're going to have to think their way through this to see how they want to maneuver their stones.
I'm thinking she hits the one that was just delivered and rolls behind the corner. Sits second, third, and fourth.
Yeah.
And there is a double on the 2 reds that would be straight back if she had to, so.
Yeah. Yeah, the angles don't really add up going to that corner, so you're right. It's probably the easiest shot, and
they're
if
worried
they
about
did hit a
moving.
little thin, they might actually chip off that red one. So
they might be worrying about moving both reds here, and I don't think that they need to. If you try to move both reds, the red at the top of the 4-foot might not clear the one at the back of the 8-foot.
no, I think they're at the situation where this is where you gamble. If you hit that and roll over really good, you'd almost force them to hit the one at the back, and then you might have an opportunity for, with a good shot, to get your 3. So I think, yeah, you're right. You got to play one shot at a time here and just get the nice roll, and hope you have a good shot at the end, and you might be able to get a big multiple end. Looks like what they're doing here. They have to play this with some weight, Sean. Normally a lot of shots like this, you're playing with a bumper, maybe just to control weight, but just because of the not much room on either side, they're going to have to keep the weight up just a little bit to hold the line so it's not coming in on such an angle.
So needing to come across the face, hit about 3/4, roll over behind the corners. Hoping to sit second, third, and fourth after this and see what's left for your last one.
Trying to get this to curl. It's hanging on that center line.
Yeah, it was a bit of an outward
hanging on
motion
that center
on the
line.
release.
Oh dear.
Just gonna stay right there. Clips the stone at the front, so the 2 reds are open now. third and fourth, both still buried, but it would be tough to make a double on those Reds if Yoshimura didn't throw.
Yeah, I'm not sure there is a double there without.
Does the tick double on the top one go over the top of everything? It might, I guess. Yoshimura doesn't have a way to get to either of the two. So
no, this is just a
part of the
setup
discussion
shot.
Here is when we can't get to the yellows, what do we do? What do we guard?
Yeah, they just want to get another one in there to set it up to make it difficult, and they're just deciding, do they want to come in and sit 1, 2, 3, or now they're looking at, if we put a guard, where do we put that guard to stop from a possible double? Right now, the only real double and stick would be to hit that middle one very, very thin, like we saw earlier. That might go across the top of the yellow, but that's, oh boy, that's it. That's very low percentage. They're just trying to figure out where to put this rock. If they don't throw this rock right now, what would happen?
Yeah, I think what they're looking at is they want to guard the tick double.
Yep.
And I guess the question is, like the slash double is so tough and it's probably coming back. You could try, they have two corner guards out there. You can see them as we look in the house. Now, the one closer to the ring looks like it's got the better angle, but I don't think you can see enough of it. You could play the angle run in, and that would give you a little bit better angle to try the slash double.
I think they're safe here if they just throw it anywhere in the top of the ring without setting up something different or moving something. I think they're pretty safe off, and Skylar will have to be pretty creative, and I look forward to seeing what she could pull off, but I think she's in a world of hurt right now.
Yoshimura with her final stone here in the sixth end. Leading by 4, sitting 2. Just trying to make sure there's no double opportunity. Well, if they were worried about the tick double, I think this is going to overcurl on them. Might have stopped just in time. Probably took away the angle slash on the guards too. Give you a little peek in at the scoreboards on the other qualifying games here. They've all gotten a little bit lopsided now. The Peterson-Rana game was the only early finish, and I don't think they marked the fifth end, but it must have been a big count. I think what they're looking at, the around the horn, they're looking at whether or not you can make an around the horn, where you touch the stone in the 12-foot, come across the top of that one in the 4-foot, and spin up. I don't think it's there. You almost need that stone in the 12-foot to be back about another foot to give you the right angle for that.
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly there. So they're looking at that scoreboard and just saying, hey, listen, if we get our one, can we battle back? But being down 3 without, it's a big uphill climb, but it's frustrating when you see 2 of your yellows
you've
there.
You've got to steal basically 4 points.
Really close,
you'll have to steal 6. You have to score. You'd have to steal 3 points in 2 ends just to get an extra end where you have to steal again.
Well, it looks like they're willing to make that risk, but yeah, not only do you have to go around the horn and up, but you actually, when you do go up, you have to hit that rock hard enough to knock it all the way to the 12-foot. That will take a lot of momentum. So yeah, now they're looking at that long, the angle raises. They're trying to look at everything. This team is determined to pull off something here. So they're going to have a really good look at what they can do.
If the longer guard wasn't there, the angle on the tighter guard isn't bad to try to run it in. But that longer guard is probably in the way.
Yeah, and that's what they just looked at and figured out. We just can't get at that, and that top one is just not the right angle anyway. So looks like they're gonna go and get their one and battle away.
Well, there was no lack of trying to find a shot.
No, just on the wrong side of a couple rolls there when they had the opportunity, and they just didn't get a break back. And here we go, where you're forced to one.
Skylar Ackerman with her final stone here. In the 6th end, trailing by 4, facing 2. They looked for a chance to perhaps score 2 or 3. Just doesn't look like there's anything there, so looking to make a play on Shot Rock and take her single.
Oh, they liked it all the way down.
Makes the hit, rolls to the top of the button. She will pick up a single point. Close the gap to 6-3, but it's a 3-point lead and last rock for Yoshimura as we go into the 7th.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and supporter of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Sean Joyce, Jeff Chambers with you here from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown in Swift Current, and Skylar Ackerman team has just not had the game that they'd like to have in this C qualifier, trailing by a score of 6-3, needing to get a steal here in the 7th, and there you see that first stone of the end. Not quite getting over the hog line, so it's removed from play. I think perhaps at least one player on the Yoshimura team surprised that they weren't just throwing this hard through, but actually saw the opportunity to practice the tick shot. Just throws it gently through the house, knowing that there's going to be a center guard come up here. They're going to be playing the tick on the next one.
Now that's definitely planning ahead, Sean. That's for sure. you'll see most teams just chuck that right through right away, and not even caught one of their players off guard and it jumped into the play, but they're planning ahead for this tick shot. Let's see if that work paid off for them.
Rusher's staying close now, looking for that last little bit of curl. He's going to make contact.
Very nice tick shot here. Look at this, moving it right over to the far side.
And you have to feel almost sorry for Skylar Ackerman. You can see her turn her hand up there. We've all been there. It's like, okay, what do we do now?
Yeah. It's like, it doesn't matter where I put this rock, they're moving it on me. So again, that's a big reason why in competition they've played around with the idea of when you're on the center line, not being able to tick it or move it. And I'm sure we may see that come into play. And Sean, what's your thoughts on possible rule changes and decisions like that? I know it's always an interesting one to talk about.
Yeah, I gotta say I hate that rule. The tick shot is one of the most skilled shots in the game, and as much as some of these players make it look easy, it is a very skilled shot, and it is a very team-oriented shot, and I'd hate to see them take that out.
No, absolutely. And like I said, there is always thoughts on it from either side, and you understand why they want it. They want to make more interesting shots, but you're right. Making a tick shot is very, very difficult to do. You have to make them so good, and it still typically leaves rocks around. So you're right. You're taking an art form that teams have spent a lot of time trying to prepare for, and use to their advantage, and taking that away. So yeah, it's a tough one to call. And it's almost punishing the team that's been playing good, because if you're playing a tick shot, that means you've played better and you're up in the game, and you're just trying to close it off. So you're taking the advantage away from the team that's actually earned their way to be in the lead that far.
Well, yes, when it happens in that case, but I mean, that's not the only way it's being used. We've seen certainly some teams at the higher level that will play those tick shots even earlier in the game to split to two corners and try to set up their offense that way. There aren't a lot of teams that do it, but there's a couple of teams out there that their leads have been, the shot's almost been named after them. I can remember Steve Gould being called the Tick Man way back when, and of course Lisa Weagle. Looking for the peel here, fairly thick on the first one, but it's going to roll over enough that it really isn't protecting too much of the rings. Now looking just to change the position of this guard a little bit. You don't really ever expect them to flash one on you, but maybe they hit something just off the nose. Leave you
like
something.
Some kind of jam, or just some kind of opportunity to run in there.
Just looking to peel the center guard here, not too worried about whether or not they take one of those corners with it. At this point in time, even if you rolled right into the side of one of those corners, it's still not going to give you a much better guard. Rolls towards the divider, doesn't quite touch, so stays in play. Puts another center guard up, and now be one more peel attempt, and then Skylar Ackerman on her first stone will have to make a decision. You might see her try to come around that corner guard, and you know, if you can't get something sitting in the middle when you've got to try to steal, your next best bet is to maybe try to make your opposition look at 2.
No, agreed. I'm pretty sure that we're going to see a draw behind either their yellow stone or behind the red stones now. Just to force a little action into the house. Give themselves a chance to possibly steal with an outside chance.
You know,
I'm not really sure a side corner guard that they'll be able to just peel this and move theirs one into the red. So kind of would have liked to see them put a little bit of pressure, make them think a little bit by bearing around the corner. I know that typically you think guard, but I remember Max Kirkpatrick playing a game once, and I didn't know what he was doing. I said, well, we should be putting a center, and he says, no, you just got to hide a rock and get them thinking about it. And sure enough, we came out of that with a 2 steal out of nowhere, and I'm like, I'll never forget that, because I thought, boy, did I ever learn something here. You're right, just put some pressure on.
If you can't bury one in the middle, and you're not going to be able to here, barring a spectacular mistake on the first stone for Yoshimura, then sometimes your best bet is to make them look at 2, and she'll have a decision to make. Whether she wants to hit or draw, and maybe she hits and concedes a steal of 1. She's just 3 up after all.
Yeah, and this would have been her chance to get 2 in the rings for a possible missed steal. Whereas if you only get, even if she gets 1 here, she still has to steal 2 more coming, or steal 2 more coming home. So probably would have taken my crack at it now, but we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, well, that's
just never know.
That's the thing. If you're making her look at 2, she's probably not going to draw against 2 because 1 point doesn't really hurt her that bad. 2 brings it back into a 1-point game. Now, even if you bury the last one, she's just going to draw for her single. She's not too worried about giving up a steal of 1 here. Yoshimura with her first stone here in the 7th end, just looking to peel the guard. Skylar opting to come around all the reds. Maybe feel they know it better, but looks like you can cover more 12-foot the other way.
Well, they're going to change it up. They're going to go behind the yellow now.
That might have come from the hack end. They're looking at the view that we've got here and realizing that the yellow's covering a little bit more rings.
Yeah.
These draws are not easy because on top of everything else, you very rarely draw out this wide, and it's a bit of a guess where to put the broom.
Yeah, right down to a slightly different slide path too that can catch the sweepers off guard as well. So yeah, everybody's got to be paying attention on these type of shots. Looks like they're going to need some help here.
It's just going to come up short of the rings. Yoshimura has a choice. She could just throw it through, take the blank, and keep last rock. I think what they're electing to do is take the 4-point lead, though.
And then run them out. Yes, this is definitely a team preference call. The good news is if you're Yoshimura, you're happy either way. Either you have 4 points going forward or you're 3 up with the hammer. So, but yeah, it's definitely up to a team decision where they like to be with these situations, and it's definitely a good situation to be in.
So last rock here for Yoshimura, the 7th end. Nothing in the rings right now. 3-point lead and opting to draw. Try to pick up her single, take a 4-point lead into the 8th and final end. Russia's really just cleaning this in, but nothing to worry about. Comes to rest in the top of the 4. Or in this day and age, elbow bumps, I guess. So it is a final. Yoshimura from Japan picking up the 7-3 victory over Skylar Ackerman here in the C event qualifier. That will move the Yoshimura team into the championship round starting tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Saskatchewan time. We will have all of that action for you here on CBC Gem and SaskTel Curling Stadium. For myself, Sean Joyce, my partner, Jeff Chambers, we want to thank you for joining us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you all back here for the 3 championship round games tomorrow.
Thank you, everybody.